Welcome back to another episode on the Arse All YouTube channel and podcast. It is, of course, the talk, the match review to the Arsenal and Man-City game. 1-0 to the Arsenal, 1-0 to the Arsenal. An Arsenal masterclass, a Mikel Arteta masterclass. And you know what? I'm not surprised, but at the same time, I'm very grateful. I'm relieved, and if we're kind of looking at it, it should have been a bit more in terms of goals for Arsenal. I mean, first half, if I have to look at it subjectively, Man City dominant. I mean, we had a couple chances on the counter. We did dominate a little bit of possession here and there. We had spells, but I mean, you could just sense around the crowd in the stadium, also the team, we looked a bit nervy starting off the first half. Now we grew into the game, of course, kept Haaland very quiet. And before we get into it, I just want to say, first things first, please check out Between the Lines podcast and their YouTube channel. I'll leave the links down below. I did actually go over there to my I call them my brothers. Yeah, Adnan, Shahan, Naeem, we all watched it there. And we also recorded a nice podcast talking about, the game, match reaction, also a bit of waffle about other teams as well. Shahan, diehard Spurs fan, don't know why, but yeah, he had a lot to say. So it was a great episode. Please check out their channel, sub to them. They're doing big things over there. Thank you for having me as well. But yeah, I think we could waffle so much on about this game, but let's start off with the lineup. Now, it was, how can you say it? It was a bit upsetting for me personally, and I know for a lot of Arsenal fans too. There was no Saka in the starting lineup. I mean, look, it is what it is. He was my captain on FPL. I was kind of banking on him starting and ripping. Who was it? Guardiola. And I think Pep kind of lined up to play, like for us to play Saka, but obviously he didn't make it. Late fitness test, he didn't get the call up, so we rested him. Didn't make that team at all. Yeah, the standout ones for me was Jorginho playing in the middle and Ketia down the middle as well. Up front, Trossard on the left, not going with Martinelli, and I thought that was a bold call. Yes, Martinelli's not match fit, just coming back for injury, so that was great. Him coming on, making a very good impact. However, I kind of felt that Martinelli could have come on for Eddie and then Trossard moved into the middle. But Arteta, this is why he's paid the big bucks. This is why he is Arsenal manager. Him bringing on, yes, he pulled it off. He brought on Havertz. Now, you know what? Forget that for a minute. Starting lineup, David Raya. It is what it is. Horrible first half, very nervy, kind of tried to force that, the distribution, the counter, didn't really work out. Second half, way better, more stable, commanded his box really well overall anyway. Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel, and Zinny. Zinny always looks too emotional in these games. And I know there was a lot of talk about what he's doing politically, and I'm not going to get into that. Football's football. We're going to keep it like that. Saliba and Gabriel are best players, if you ask me. I mean, they kept Haaland quiet. They really defended the box well, very commanding, cut out the runs by the strikers, Alvarez as well. Saliba, oh, mate, I think he'll go down, if he keeps it up, as one of our best ever centre-backs, and we've had some amazing ones. Ben White was okay. I mean, he got caught on the counter a couple of times, but he did support Jesus on that right, and I mean, the chemistry is not the best. They haven't played together that long in comparison to Saka on that right. So yeah, can't really complain. Odegaard did okay. I mean, he could have got really injured, and we're going to talk about that challenge from Kovacic in a bit. Didn't have the best game, but linked up well where he did, chase the ball like a headless chicken, run the channels in terms of pressing the ball and stuff like that. So I was very impressed. Very much a leader's match for him. Yeah, he wasn't as involved, but it was a game of chess. We had to pick our times to be involved in the game. And as Arteta says, we have to suffer in certain times of the game. And that's what we did 90% of the time. But yeah, Jorginho, Very bad first half from him. Got a yellow very early on, the 10th or 11th minute. But he did all right after. He sort of calmed the ball down, played those sideways passes, sensible passes. And he kind of freed up Declan Rice, which enabled him to push forward, playing essentially in the Xhaka role. And he did very, very well. Declan Rice, oh my days, man. What a player. But yeah, he played very well. Cut out a couple times where there were some players driving into our half or towards our box, and he cut it out a couple times. Very impressed with him. As always, Mr. Consistent. Jesus did very well. I mean, he ran that channel where he could, press the ball, driving at players with the ball as well. Eddie, I wasn't really impressed, I'll be honest with you. Eddie did not have a great game. Looked like he did suffer with a bit of fatigue, and he was just outmatched physically, with the likes of Ake and Diaz. Now, it's not his fault. He did what he had to do in terms of, I guess, running in behind and sort of trying to hold up the ball. But as soon as Havertz come on for him, that was the difference. That hold up play, playing off Martinelli, yes, very lucky goal. But you need that against a team like m.city, So that Havertz hold up play was exactly what Eddie was lacking in that match. And yeah, great assist by Havertz. Yes, it could have went anywhere, that goal or that shot, but we won, and that's that. Trossard coming off at halftime was a bit baffling. I mean, he wasn't too involved, but I guess when you're playing against the likes of Walker, you have to pick your moments. But yeah, Martinelli looked hungry. He looked like he was full of adrenaline, driving at Walker, and I think they tried to double up with Bernardo. That didn't work. Martinelli was really given a good game, a good half, because he only played the second half. Who else? Come on, Tomiyasu came on for who was it? Zinchenko. Zinny always looks knackered around the 70th minute. Doku coming on, of course. Arteta had to do something, and Partey coming on as well, which was great. Could have come on sooner, if you ask me, but I feel like Arteta bringing on these players at the time they did, according to m.city substitutions as well, was a great counteract. Doku was sort of, he had to switch sides actually, because Tomiyasu had him on toast, kept him quiet, and yeah, it just worked. Everything just worked to a T. Yes, City had a couple of chances. A couple. Not much though. We didn't really give him a sniff. Now, Alvarez chasing down David Raya for the kick. That could have went anywhere. And I can't really remember any other chances. Ake, that was a standout chance for them as well. But other than that, nothing. We didn't really give him a sniff. And it was an amazing sort of business-like match for us. The one thing I do want to talk about though is Kovacic could have got a red card easily. He got the yellow for the first dirty challenge on Martin Odegaard. Could have really injured Odegaard badly. Left his studs in there. Studs were high as well. If it was any higher, that could have easily been a red. But I feel like the referee has to have a look. He has to have a look. VAR deemed it as not a mistake by the referee, excuse me. But look, in my opinion, it was a red. He got lucky to not get a second yellow card with the same near enough tackle on Rice a couple minutes later. But look, it is what it is. We won the game, so I don't think we can be too cheesed off with that. We are going to talk on the match stats before we waffle on about the overall game and what I think. Possession-wise, it was pretty even when you think about it. I mean, the first half of the first half was pretty brutal for us. But yeah, overall, they had 51%. We had 49. Total shots, 12-4. On target, which is where we both lacked, to be fair, it was 2-1 to us. Off target was 6 to us, 2 to them. We had blocked shots, 4. They had 1. Passing percentage, both very good, but it was very safe on both teams. 86.5% from us, 86.6 to them. Clear cut chances, they had 2, we had none. Corners, we had 5, they had 4. Offsides, we had 2, they had 0. Tackling percentage 1, they had 66.7, we had 60. Aerial duels, they had 61.51. Big team. They're a very physical team. We had 38.5. They had 1 saves. Fouls committed, 7 to them. 8 to us. Fouls 1, 8 to them, 7 to us. Yellow cards, 3 to them, 2 to us. No red cards. Now, it looks like m.city have got 3 out of the last 4 games in defeats. 3 defeats from 4 games. Now, they won in the Champions League midweek, but they lost against Wolves in the Prem. And then before that, the Newcastle game in the Carabao Cup, they lost. So, are they off form? By the looks of it and by their standards, yes. I did say in my match preview, this was the best time to play them, to look like we could win. And we did it. Everything to a T worked. Yes, we had to suffer during the game. You know, concede possession for long periods of the game, but press when we needed to. And you could see their press compared to ours night and day. I believe their press, one of the best, if not the best, in European football at the moment. We did what we needed to do. Arteta pulled it out the bag for once. I think the last 12 meetings in the league, they've won. The last time that we won, our Wenger was involved against Pellegrini. I had a hairline. I've said this many times before, but that's the best analogy I can give. And I think it was Giroud and Walcott. But yeah, amazing, robust win. A very businesslike 1-0 to the Arsenal classic scoreline. And yeah, their injuries have made them suffer. Rodri being out with suspension. Stones coming back now. KDB still out. You know, that's a big factor. Where was Grealish? He normally terrorizes us. Foden had a decent game. Alvarez and Haaland. I just think we were very good and we kept them quiet, you know. So look, I don't care. We won. It is what it is. A lucky goal. But at the same time, yeah, you need that luck. You do. When you're playing the likes of City and at their caliber, their manager, we needed it. So 1-0 to the Arsenal. Let me know your thoughts down below. What you think about the match. Should we have won? Should they have won? Who do you think, though, is winning the league? Is it too early to say based off this match? I think it might be in favour of us more than last season. And I know we done very well last season for majority of it, but by the looks of it, if City can't claw back players quickly in terms of coming back from injury or suspensions and finding their flow, who knows? Who knows? We're going to win a league, lads. We're going to... I don't know. I'm just waffling. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. And until the next episode, take care.